authority here.
Patience is beautiful. Patience is beautiful. Patience is beautiful.
What's going on? No way.
Oh, that's shit.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, you're joking. You're joking.
I mean, I was at City Council yesterday when they gave away another $28 million to the Olympics. I found that rather sad that it took them less time to do that than it did to decide whether to put a warning on a property that was falling apart. The biggest promise was a commitment that there would be no displacement as a result of the games. There is no question that has been violated. That was hugely important to people on the downtown east side, to all kinds of people in this city, not just in the downtown east side, who rely on a place they can afford to live. Not just those that find themselves on welfare, but the working poor, people who go to work every day are going to find themselves out on the street as we get closer to the Olympics. That is the number one thing they broke.
A group of concerned citizens went before City Council to try and persuade them to institute a moratorium on the conversion of low-income housing.
The City of Vancouver is also the signatory on the 2010 bid book, which commits the city to the goal of ensuring that no evictions will occur as a result of the 2010 games. This is in your own document.
These are people's lives and people's homes that are being used as a pre-development push by the Olympics. Google it. Google Olympics. Find out what they did in Atlanta. You know what they did in Atlanta? Homelessness got so bad in Atlanta from the same process that right during the Olympics they had busloads take poor people out of the city so they wouldn't be on the goddamn cameras. Like, as City Council, you have to do something. This is extremely serious. All of us here, if we yell, if we scream, it's because we love so many people in that community and they're really being hurt by these developers.
I obtained, through the Freedom of Information request that I did, a copy of the host city contract signed by the City of Vancouver, the International Olympic Committee, and the Canadian Olympic Committee. In this document, it says there is a commitment to provide the accommodation for at least 3,750 persons. In this same commitment, the same document that you've signed on to, it says rooms and board at the Olympic Village and other appropriate accommodations during the period that is made available shall be provided free of charge for the duly qualified accredited competitors, team officials, and personnel. My goodness. If we can put our heads together and provide 3,700 units free of charge during the Olympics, we should be able to figure out how to put roofs over the people that are slipping in the gutters of Vancouver. Thank you very much.
Even though over 30 people came and spoke in favor of the moratorium, the city voted against it. Amongst the reasons for voting against it was that they felt it would prevent private enterprise from building low-income housing.
We're now in discussions with developers who want to provide replacement housing. Those discussions would have to stop if there was an outright moratorium, and that the SRA bylaw is being reviewed, and from all indications that we can tell, a moratorium would not be the thing that's recommended.
Shame on you. Shame on you. How can you sleep at night? I'm really serious, especially you.
The crowd started to get angry, promised to take to the street.
So, how do we win the struggle?
Well, in this example, through direct action. You know, if government's not willing to stand up and represent the people's needs, then you need to take to the streets, occupy buildings, do what it takes to make people hear you and to realize that the people need help.
How do we win the struggle?
Just keep fighting.
This is a direct result of Vancouver getting the Olympic bid. People are being kicked out of their hotels and their homes. And, you know, the money's going to building sports arenas and apartments for rich people.
Now we've got 3 hotels ready to close. So what are we doing? This is what we're doing. We're going to take a stand. We're going to say enough is enough. We don't want the Olympic Games. Nobody here wants the Olympic Games. We want homes. Homes, not games. Homes, not games. Homes, not games.
During the protest, the APC and their supporters surprised the police by taking control of one of the downtown east side abandoned buildings.
We've occupied one of the many abandoned buildings in the downtown east side that was closed by the city. Our demand is very simple demand, that the NPA fulfill their election promise.
We understand that the Olympics are pushed on poor people. We see that there's a land grab being made in this city, across this province, pushing poor people, indigenous people, women, children, people with disabilities, further into the dark corners, further into danger, further away from safety.
What we've done here today is try to bring people together to launch this campaign, to launch this offensive, hope that people are inspired by these actions and do whatever it takes to ensure that this building's opened up, that building's opened up, that building's opened up, that building's opened up.
The protesters occupied the building for 3 days before the police moved in.
Of 5 West Hastings. This is the Vancouver Police. We are going to demand that you exit the building immediately. We have authorization from the owner of the building to have you removed immediately. Would you please do so?
Three days later, another action is planned.
Taking them up to City Hall, and we're going to occupy City Hall until the City Council can convince us that they are willing and able to go forward with their homeless action plan and implement it immediately. If not, we're going to put the homeless plan in action and occupy City Hall and other buildings until the people who need housing are put in under shelter.
And there are going to be a lot of police officers there, and the city councillors are probably wondering about what kind of a council meeting they're going to have.
We're going to take a quick march, and we're going to come up around, and we're going to go through the front door. We're going to go upstairs, we're going to go to City Council, and we're going to see if they're going to at least acknowledge us. Maybe they'll give us that much. If they're not going to listen to us, we're going to have to make sure we're loud and clear so they're made to hear us. Is everybody here loud enough? All right, hold on to that. We're going to go down this path. We're going to go down the street. We're going to turn around. We'll have a nice march, good and loud, to rev us up by the time we get in there.
As expected, the Vancouver police were well prepared. By the time the protesters